Hi, welcome back to Real Auto Reports. I'm Jonathan McGrew, and today we have the 2013 Legacy, and this is from Subaru, of course, so you have that fantastic symmetrical all-wheel drive. And we're going to give you the real first impressions video on this car, and especially with this being the 3.6R Limited, it's got a lot to offer. So let's check it out.
From the front, the 2013 Subaru Legacy is very different looking than the 2009 model, but they completely redesigned it for 2010. So you're probably actually pretty used to the way this car looks now. It is definitely a thicker, more formidable design in the 2010 through 2013 model year. Not a lot has changed for 2013, but we think it holds up well. We expect that they may do some updates in the future here since we're in basically the third model year. So it's due for a slight mid-cycle refresh sometime soon. But Subaru really doesn't mess with their cars as much as some of the other auto manufacturers. This car was really redesigned for the 20th anniversary of the Legacy model, and that's what debuted as a concept in 2009 and turned into what you see here. It's a nice looking car and an option maybe not as many people consider when looking for a sporty all-wheel drive sedan. From the side, I think the thing that we really find about the Legacy the most is that it is a subtle design. It is understated. It really doesn't scream for attention the way that some of the cars out on the market do. However, it still has 17-inch alloy wheels and these nice flares on the fender that kind of kick the body out a little bit. And overall, the shape is pleasing. It has a nice look to it, but I think it's one of those cars that really are for the people that are comfortable driving something that is not flashy. They want something that really is just a nice looking car that blends into its surrounding and does exactly what you expect of it. And in this vehicle, you'll notice that. Now, something that is interesting is how flat the sides are here of the front of the doors. And you'll notice when you open the doors, they're fairly thin in comparison to some other cars. All in all, though, a very nice design. From the back, again, it is a subtle design. It has good placement of the rear taillights, easy to see indicators. You are going to get the 3.6R badging with the 3.6 motor and the limited car that we have here as our test car. That also means in the limited and with the 3.6 you're going to get the dual exhaust, which you can see very clearly here. And it gives it a nice look. It gives it more of that sports sedan feel than maybe the 2.5 where you have the single exhaust tip. And something funny about that is that you can actually see the cutout for the second exhaust tip in the vehicles that only have the one exhaust tip. And I think that's kind of interesting because you can tell that's how they get some economy in the manufacturing. But it is really noticeable to those of us who look at these cars all the time. Also notice the rear view camera hanging down there because this car does have the rear backup camera and the navigation. So a lot of good features packed into this car as well. From the driver's seat, you're going to notice that the inside of the Subaru might feel a little odd at first. It is very simplistic and to some degree it still feels a little bit dated inside in terms of how everything is placed in the finish of the materials. But you do have everything that you would expect to be there. You have dual climate control that is computerized and automatic. You have your navigation touchscreen there in the center stack. A lot of steering wheel controls, including the phone controls for your Bluetooth, the voice activation button for the navigation system, your cruise control, and you'll notice that this has extra buttons because you do have the adaptive cruise in this vehicle, which is a very nice feature at this price point. Also in the interior, you'll notice the wood grain trim combined with the silver accents. It's a little odd to me, but all in all, a very well put together interior, easy to find things. It's just, as I said, feels a little dated from the first impression. Under the hood is where our test car really shines because we have the 3.6-liter dual overhead cam V6 Subaru Boxer motor. That means it's a horizontally opposed six-cylinder, and it puts out 256 horsepower, 247 foot-pounds of torque, and will get you 0 to 60 in about 5.8 seconds. Now, in terms of fuel economy, you'll see about 18 miles per gallon in the city, 25 miles per gallon out on the highway, and an EPA estimated combined rating of 20 miles per gallon. Now, that might seem a little bit low considering the horsepower and the size of this motor, but all in all, it's not bad for the other cars on the market. And you have to remember that this is coupled to the Subaru Symmetrical All-Wheel Drive system, which makes it a very capable car, especially for climates like here in Denver where we have inclement weather. So this is a pretty cool package all put together and has a lot of performance considering it's not even 300 horsepower. Hitting the road in the Subaru Legacy 3.6R Limited is a cool experience if you like a sports sedan. What I'm going to tell you about this car from a first impression is that it has good power. The all-wheel drive system seems to work well, and you'd expect that from Subaru. But the suspension is harsher than a lot of sedans out on the market with the same power. This really isn't a luxury car. Sure, it's got leather and the wood trim and navigation and a great stereo at 440 watts, but it's not a soft ride. This is going to be a flat, stiff ride, great for the corners. It's going to do well in inclement weather because you have the all-wheel symmetrical system. But this is not a car that is going to be a soft, comfortable ride in the sense of a luxury car. This really is a sports sedan, something you would probably expect from the makers of the WRX. All in all, it is tight, smooth, and quick. It just isn't necessarily a luxury sports sedan in the sense of a smooth, soft ride, while still having the variability of a sports suspension. So what we would say here is if you like that tight ride, from a first impression, this car has it, and if you like something that has a variable suspension, this car might not.
So that's the real first impressions video of the 2013 Subaru Legacy 3.6R Limited. We think this is a pretty cool car. It has a lot to offer on first impression, and for right about $34,000 as tested, it's a great buy. So we hope you come back for the real video where we will give you all the details you need to know about this car and go more in depth. That'll be coming up real shortly, so we hope to see you again soon. For Real Auto Reports, I'm Jonathan McGrew, and we'll see you down the road.